Hello, and welcome to another update video about XRP. On the XRP chart, we're currently exploring if a lasting low has been made here on Thursday. Yeah, so that's basically in line with previous updates. For the last week or two, we've been counting this move down as a WXYXZ correction, a very complex correction, and there are other options that we could apply here, other wave counts, for example, a leading diagonal to the downside, which would be bearish. But in the previous videos, I gave you the relevant levels that we need to be watching for a more bearish outcome, okay? I feel that until we break those levels to the downside, at the moment we could focus more on the upside due to the strong sell-off we had and XRP's tendency to bounce back, even if it's only in corrective price structures. So what I want to highlight here is the oversold nature of various indicators on various timeframes, like the daily, still way oversold, yeah? For example, we were oversold on the 4-hour. You still find significantly here very low on the daily RSI, around 30. The 8-hour is still very low, yeah? So all these indicator timeframes, yeah, that are relevant, they still show oversold. I mean, I'm often observing the daily time frame. After such a strong drop, we can typically expect a bit of a bounce. Now, I'm very doubtful if this would be anything that is really lasting to the upside, yeah, any more substantial upside, but it could be a corrective bounce. Probabilities would suggest it's just a corrective bounce because XRP, for the last few years, has only been moving in three-wave structures, in unreliable corrective structures. However, we are very deep in support here now. Yeah, we came very close also to the ascending trend line that you can see here on the chart. And we talked about, what are the relevant levels that really need to hold for a more bullish interpretation of the chart. And we said, look, we need to hold the 37-cent level, which is the 78.6 Fibonacci retracement of the move between June 22 and the high that was made in July 23. Below 28 cents or 28.5 cents, any bullish scenario is formally invalidated. So I'm watching if we see potential reversals here. I think it's not a very desirable chart. Someone commented in the previous video that, I don't seem to like XRP. Yeah. No. Well, see, it's not about the project for me. I don't really care about fundamentals. I don't really care about a project. I like a chart when it provides clear probabilities. I don't like a chart when setups break or when probabilities, start to turn. When the probabilities of a certain setup reduce, then of course I don't like the setup. It's all about the chart. It's all about what the chart tells us. If a chart has moved or has been moving for years in three-wave corrective structures, it's just not reliable. Yeah, it's just not reliable, and therefore we just need to be aware that it can always swing up and down. It can give us headwinds. It is like a roller coaster. So don't be surprised if you are dealing with the XRP chart. You really need to know your asset. You really need to know the chart you're dealing with. For example, Dogecoin, as we all know, it can do quick corrective rallies out of the blue just as a reaction to a tweet. So you just need to know that when you deal with these coins. Every coin has sort of its own characteristic. Yeah, XRP is just moving in corrective structures. So first of all, that means that dealing too much with the microstructure can be potentially dangerous and very risky. Because it just makes sense. Because if you are, let's say, invested in XRP, we don't have that uptrend that we would need to have confidence in further rising prices, because XRP has basically just been moved sideways since 2018. Okay, so I mean, that's 5 years. For 5 years, this chart has just moved sideways with obviously a lot of up and down, but it's just been moving sideways. Now, if that's 5 years, who's telling you that couldn't happen another 5 years? Okay, so that is just the problem. You don't have that momentum from the larger trend if you are going long, for example. Even if you're going short here on the chart, just be aware. I think, this is one that is more risky. It can change its opinion very quickly. Just be aware of that. We just need to be aware of that when we deal with this chart. Maybe leaving it a little bit more space. Maybe not get as excited as the XRP army always does. Just treat it with a you know, with a healthy sense of caution, I would say. Okay, but anyway, no, it doesn't have to do with the fact I don't like XRP. That's not true, absolutely. It's not me about liking a coin or anything. I'm not, you know, I'm not biased. You will find a lot of influencers who are shilling certain coins, who are sort of married to a project. And the problem with that is they always try to employ a bias to their analysis. That's the problem. Now I can give you a bullish wave count here, no problem. But that wouldn't give you the big, you know, the best view. You want to find someone who's rather neutral about projects. Anyway, so we're currently exploring if price has formed at least a local low here. Well, it is a local low, but is it a more substantial one? I think that's key for a further uptrend anyway. Even, as I said, even if it's just a larger corrective rally. Now, at the moment, we only have 3 waves up. There are 2 wave counts I'm observing. There is the white one, which would be a 5-wave move. It shows that we need one more high to be able to call that a leading diagonal. So that could then be a wave 1, and we could be watching for a wave 2 pullback, breakout of the wedge to the downside, and then we have a certain likelihood that it will form a higher low. It could be a new trade setup for a 3rd wave rally higher. At the moment, though, I only have 3 waves up. So at the moment, it can still easily break down. It can easily break down still. And it would just be an ABC structure highlighted in yellow, and it could reset the B wave a little lower. Then we would have the wave count of the X wave high as a 1, 2, 3, a deep wave 4, and a 5 down. This is sort of the, let's say, short-term bearish wave count. But even then, I think it will just make a marginally lower low below the 17th of August low. Ultimately, what we need to have a first really good indication that a lasting low has been made, it would be a 5-wave move up. Yeah, we need a 5-wave move up above resistance. I believe I highlighted resistance in the previous videos. We talked about these descending trend lines that are important, but also the sell-off candle, which started here around, yeah, where was it? Just above that candle where the volume started, maybe even above the last swing high, so around 58 cents. So a break above 58 cents would be really, really helpful to establish a lowest in, but it would need to be a 5-wave move. Now, from here we can make a high, that would be good. Then we have 5 waves. I can call that a leading diagonal. If we leave it with 3 waves, it's likely going to make a new low. Important is that I would give it the chance to make 5 waves as long as we're holding the 48.4 cent level. That would be the invalidation point. The wave 4 cannot go below the low of wave 2. That's currently my assessment of the XRP chart. So very much still watching if we can get a 5th wave up. And if we have those 5 waves, then we can get the first reliable trade setup. More or less reliable, okay? But at least we then have a clear sense of direction, and we know that XRP wants to go back to the upside. Because after 5 waves up, you get your 3-wave pullback. If we only have 3 waves up, it can easily make a new low. Basically, the first 5 waves up increase the probabilities that it will hold a higher low in a first decent pullback. That's my update about XRP. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.